sisters, what's up? This is the Reluctant Nabi. And wow. Okay. First, I would like to thank right off the top, Passe Noir Joe. Okay, Passe Noir Joe. This is kind of like breaking news. All right. But this is breaking news to show how broken the so-called Black community is. And we're talking about the community that's been led by the Black woman, the Black American woman that don't need no man. All right. I want y'all to understand this. This woman that don't need no man has allowed many of her underage daughters, because she don't need no man to listen to, and she's the protector and backbone of the community in her house. She's the queen. Well, this is what the queens are allowing right under their noses. Hell, they're promoting this, right? So right off the top, according to WMBF News, you'll hear from them. They wrote, it is written, so I'll put the link in the description box. And this link is coming from Passe Noir. Look this up, because remember, in the first video, while I could say that he claimed to have slept with over 600 women in the course of his fame, that's probably true. All right, this dude been hobnobbing with everything, and since he's been exclusively sleeping with and in all probability infecting, and basically the quote from one of the victims is, and this was a victim that knew he had AIDS, not HIV, but AIDS, and was afraid that, I'm saying this is what the victim knew. All right, according to the report, the victim knew he had AIDS, and it was an underage victim, 13. Yeah, 13. The 13-year-old was introduced to him by another Black woman or Black girl, but it was a friend. Y'all see how crazy this is? So a friend is introduced. We'll get to that in a minute. What's even more shocking is the celebrities he's taken picture with. However, there is a particular politician that he had a photo op with in a formal setting, looked like in somebody's house. Stick with me to the end to find out who that is. All right. But as we get into this case is more sorrowful and more sorrowful. It is sad, but Ezekiel called it out. The Most High said he was going to pull the veil off the Black woman so that everybody could be critical of her, because she said in her own heart, I will despise the man that looked like me. I will elevate his oppressor over him. And not only that, help his oppressor oppress him. I will then throw him out and cast him aside to the house, the good man. But the thug, the wicked, and the evil, I will support wholeheartedly. And the Most High said, no, Black woman, you got to pay for that. You have comforted the thug, and you have made sad the good with whom he has not made sad. A good man has a miserable time with the modern day black woman. A good Afro man, they give us hell. We want to be with them, but we can't because they're too much of a risk. And now they're upset that we're with fine women of other cultures. Well, that's what happens when you throw away the good stuff. Somebody else will pick it up and realize the quality. And now the veil, that's the first step. Now the veil has been ripped, and now this is what you see. Let me greet everybody real quick. Havorten hardu gudag, all the way to the bank. Vasas los, bonjour mes amis, kedo bawani konnichiwa, ni hao ni ama, sani bonani, jampo herbagani, assalamu alaikum and shalom. All right. To you brothers out there in Georgia, I'm packing my bags. I'm about to leave back out the house, and I'm heading your way. All right. USMC vet, all the brothers, I'll contact you, and I'm rolling that way. So I'll see y'all. To the brothers out in Tennessee, I'll see y'all. All right. So let's get this rolling. I'm going to spread this far and wide, this particular video right here. All right. But first, let's get those thumbs up, like, share, subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you're clicking this over on Facebook, all right, well, you don't worry about anything. My Cash App and my PayPal Me will be in the description box, along with the full report by the news station you're about to hear from again. All right, they will be in the description box. Now, having said that, let's roll on. All right, this is what the news reported live, but they added more if you actually read their report, because they didn't want to make, I don't know why, I guess because of the claim by the 13-year-old, they had to put it in writing instead of blast it all over I don't know why they did it this way. All right, but pay attention.
Eric Meredith, these are all arrest warrants for Jason Pope. Most allege the incidents usually happened at his home here on Lakeview Drive. The documents show he had sex with and is even accused of kidnapping young girls.
I suspected a long time ago things were not right over there because of who we had coming in and out.
The neighbor didn't want to go on camera, but says Pope lived next door to him for several years. He says he's seen numerous young girls stop by.
They looked like they were very young, underage maybe, and they stayed over some, and then they would disappear.
Documents obtained by WMBF News show in July, Pope held young girls against their will in a room of his home to perform sex acts. One of the victims, listed as 17 years old, said Pope gave her, quote, money and other things for sex. Other reports detail incidents from September to December of 2017 where Pope extorted young girls for sex. The neighbor says he saw several officers raiding Pope's home.
He was a very secure person to himself, and we're not out going around in the neighborhood, not at all.
The oldest report dates back to 2011. It shows Pope gave two victims, one listed as young as 13 years old, marijuana and money to have sex with him. The report shows the victim told the officer a condom wasn't used and was concerned Pope had a sexually transmitted disease. What's your reaction now that you found out everything he's arrested for?
For his daddy and mother, it's a bad situation all the way around. I feel for him, but nothing we can do.
The investigation into Pope is ongoing. If you have any information on these incidents or others, contact your local or state law enforcement department. Live in Florence, Neil Watson, WMBF.
All right. So you see what it is, right? These women, understand this, allowed their 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, 17-year-olds. And think about how programmed these girls are, that at 17, they think it's okay to go over to a Caucasian man's house for some weed, money, and to get busy with him, to ride that carousel. Think about that. This is what the black mothers are teaching their black daughters. I say black because we're not black, but you can't teach the black mama anything unless you're a Caucasian man. All right? But when we're trying to teach them, we're not black, we're spiritual beings, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to be that. Okay, so now let them eat dust and be alone. But this is sad. Very sad. This comment right here is going to go out to Mahari08. He said, is this how, in the first video, he wrote a comment, is this how you feel about your mother? Your mama's black. Your mama. See, here's the thing, and this is what's wrong with these weak-minded individuals, especially the ones in the simps that come writing this stuff like that. They are afraid to hold their mamas accountable. According to scripture, when we come into manhood, us males come into manhood, our mama is no longer in charge of us. In the absence of the father, the sons become in charge of the house. The woman is never in charge of the house. But she teaches her son that you'll always be my baby. You'll always be my baby. 50 years old, got a business and stuff like that, and can't get from under the thumb of his mama. These women have brainwashed us to do all kinds of injustices, and no matter what the injustice is, understand, dudes like this think that we shouldn't talk about it, and this should stay hidden. Right? So this is how this goes. While not identifying a victim, investigators allege Pope held a minor in a home against her will and sexually assaulted her during that same period. An incident report from the Florence County Sheriff's Office states that December 2011, deputies responded to a local hospital for a sexual misconduct call. A 13-year-old girl told deputies that she had sex with Pope and later found out he had AIDS. So, later found out, the question is from whom? All right. And she only went to the hospital. I want y'all to understand this. And there are some of y'all that are officers of the law and stuff, probably some detectives that watch my channel. I know there's a lot of us former military here. All right, so what does this sound like to you? And this is what this sounds like to me. This is a 13-year-old girl that was introduced to him by a friend of hers as somebody you can go get money from. Well, who taught her that the most important thing in life is to use your body to get money? Well, she learned that from her mother. Because had she had a daddy thug or otherwise, this man would be dead right now. I'm just saying. Because that's how men deal with other dudes that take the virginity of their 13-year-old girls. Even if she was one. That's another problem. Also taught by her mom. Just think, she probably was not a virgin. That's her mama's fault. She's 13. A friend tells her she can go and have relations with a Caucasian man and get some money and stuff. And the only reason why she went to the hospital was somebody later on, and she found out that he had AIDS. The report states. The child's friend introduced her to Pope. So who is her friends? All right, look. So this is a community of black women and their children running around sleeping with this guy for money. The child's friend introduced her to Pope, who allegedly gave the minor marijuana and alcohol, deputies say. According to the report, Pope took a second victim to his home on Lakeview Drive and had sex with her as well. At the time, the police said the minors identified Pope's home and his license plate number. The second victim said she was sexually assaulted on Thanksgiving, and she too became concerned because that she contracted AIDS. The state reports the state. Sorry about how I read that. But a lot of times when I'm reading this stuff, I'm thinking like how horrific this is at the same time. So I got a whole bunch of thoughts converging on my head. And one of the main thoughts on my head is, how is it that all these simps and these people are going to come to brothers that's pointing this stuff out and be angry at the person showing you the evil that is plaguing the community and say, man, how dare you call out the people that's bringing on this evil to the children? How dare you call out the black female for teaching this evil and wickedness to the children? How dare you bring light to this situation that is making stuff dangerous for the children? Oh, F the children. They don't matter. What matters is the status of the black woman. What matters is you can't talk about our queen. What matters is you are not putting no respect on the name of our queen, the black woman. You know, black girls rock. That's what keeps running through my head. That's the sad part. That means if these 13-year-olds, or however age they are, understand, and she didn't know at first, a 13-year-old didn't know at first, what made the 13-year-old so comfortable to go in and ride the carousel as if she has to be her mom. She has to see her mom do it continuously. So, and this is a grown man, right? And age ain't nothing but a number when a 21-year-old or a 20-year-old black woman marries a 60-something-year-old Caucasian man, and the black women were in the feed talking about age ain't nothing but a number. So this is the other message they're teaching to these girls. Age is not anything but a number unless it's an Afro man, and then he need to be your same exact age, meaning if you 35, he need to be 35. He is not allowed to date a younger woman that could bear him children. That's the message that the black women send to the Afro man. He is not allowed to find a younger wife. But all Afro men that are not predators would have a problem with this. This man probably would not be alive today if there was any father in her house. That's why there are no fathers in her house, because that's how the mama wanted it. So this dude can go and do what he wants at will. I will say this. I cover up his hand because every last single picture, that dude's hand is on whatever black woman he's taking, whose picture he's with, who's taking a picture with him. His hand is on her behind. And I mean the middle of her behind, squeezing it. And I just wanted to say, I'm covering it up because this is YouTube. Because YouTube, you can't show the whole truth. So, one after another, because these black women do not care, because their mamas didn't care and didn't teach them to care. They didn't teach them to love an Afro man. They taught them to love the Caucasian only. See, the problem with the Afro man isn't the Caucasian man with a black woman, because we don't care. The problem is these same women will then turn around and say we can't date anybody except one of them when they're not worthy of us. All right. And remember, this dude was even with famous people. Okay. I'm just showing you, these are different pictures from the first video. This dude, so there's the HIV allegation, or the AIDS. It's AIDS. Here's the other thing. The other thing is that he said he slept with over 600 women. It's possible because you see him with multiple women on his Facebook page in compromising positions that you cannot put on YouTube at all, because you know what's going on. You know what time it is when you see the picture. So not only is he doing the nasty, but he's publicizing it, making the B film look even worse. All right. He's been with famous people. All right. But these are not the most famous he's been with. Why is it that this next famous person that he's been with, all right, I just want you to understand something. The next famous person that he's been with, way up there in the political arena, and it just really concerns me. How come all these Caucasian guys involved with statutory assault or pedophilia, how come they're involved with the same political person? Ooh, I bet y'all wasn't expecting that, were you? Neither was I. So in the midst of all these black women's bodies with half their clothes off and his hands all over their behind, look at who he's all hugged up with. This may explain why in 2011, 1995, and all the rest of these cases, why this man never did much time in jail. Remember, there's a whole lot of stuff against this guy, and he may only just start to see justice in 2019, right? But since 1995, this dude's been skating, not doing any time at all. Now about 623, according to some dude that thought he was saying something, but approximately 600 black women in South Carolina might be at risk for AIDS, or think they are. All right. That's according to the 13-year-old who was informed that that's what he has. All right. Funny, huh? Then again, when you think about it, maybe it's not that funny. Like I said, he has his way with these because their mothers taught them to worship the Caucasian man when we're not supposed to worship anybody. To see him as a god and give everything you have to him. And don't worry about the black man. He'll be around when you turn 40. And you know what? Now we don't want you at 20 in South Carolina. This stuff, all this bad news about you black women in South Carolina is going to spread like wildfire. Y'all better go to the hospital and get checked out, because the brothers are going to check out from dating you in South Carolina. Well, all right. So y'all pay attention. It is wild as all get out. At the end of the day, one of the things this shows is the betrayal for the Afro man that the black woman has always had. Okay, fine, we could deal with that. The Afro man, we just get women from other communities. That's a no-brainer. All right. Sex, we can have it with the same women he having it for. We just pay a little bit, right? However, what's been done to the children, the seeds of the Afro man, is unforgivable. And I think in the Most High's eyes, he also sees this. The leaders, these so-called black women leaders of the black community, the black girls that rock, All right, they might be getting famous, and Hollywood might be lifting them up, but all the people that's lifting them up got to understand that they're lifting up evil, and they must pay for what they're doing to these little girls and how they're raising them and what they're training them to be. At 13, you think it's okay to go to a man's house to have sex for money and weed at 13? What in the hell kind of mama is in that house? Y'all tell me, because I don't understand. And then all these simps and fools that's coming talking to me about putting this stuff up and having a problem with it. Oh, are you upset with your mama? Hell yeah. Because she effed up our family too. And so I'm like, what in the hell is wrong with you that you can't see the damage done to children? Me, I'm good. I travel the world, the parts of the world that I want to. I'm good financially. My credit is even good. Way good. A lot of you brothers know that I stay above or at around 800 on all three of my scores. So that doesn't keep me awake at night. That does not upset me. That does not depress me. What depresses me is the fact that a bunch of these sellout Negroes, these sorry excuses for men and women, do not see the problem in this and want to come after the prophets. But then again, y'all have always been doing this, right? I want the Most High to judge y'all with a harsh punishment for not seeing for being okay with the damage that this is doing to children that do not have a chance. Period. They don't have a chance because their single black mama is raising them. And for the most part, most black children will not have a chance. So don't give me this. I know one person who went to college and they're a genius. And even the ones that do that, they are weakened and teach weakness. Don't give me that bull crap. I've been tired of this. It's sad that them wicked people don't ever get tired, but they want to come after the messengers, the prophets, the people telling right, the people telling the truth. The sorriest, poorest excuse for human beings ever. With that said, I'm out.